welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo. The light is very bright behind me, so it just kind of I lose all you know definition of what's happening in my face, which is probably good. Honestly, let's be real, probably good for everybody. But I'm gonna continue working on the hat that I started yesterday, and we're gonna see how it goes. It's been going well so far. I believe I'm in the fourth panel of this potentially six panel hat. And I'm taking a break from looking at apartments online because I'm really fucking tired of looking at apartments online, if I'm being honest. It's just draining the life out of me. I'm so tired. And I've just been hoping so much that the apartment that I really liked, that everything looked like it was going to work out with, would just work out. I don't know. Like, it probably will, but, like, I'm just gonna have to keep kind of pushing for it, and it could not, just due to the fact that, like, that information that they require is no longer available, which is good in some sense. It's a big pain in my ass in other senses, so what are you gonna do? Sometimes life is difficult and you have to deal with it, but I did get some really good news today. I cannot share it. It's not my news to share. I did get some good news to share, or really good news today, that I'm very happy about, for someone I know. So I'm super, super happy. But I got to keep it on the DL. So this is me keeping things on the DL. And you all know me. I'm cool as a cucumber, which I hate cucumbers. Maybe I need to think of a cooler phrase than that, but I'm so chill. Everybody knows I'm so chill. That's not true. I'm like the least chill person of all time. I have zero fucking chill. So for me to not like scream good news from the mountaintops is a little bit difficult for me. But that's the thing about when people entrust you with good news and secrets and things like that, is that you have to be shut your fucking mouth and let people tell people when they're ready. So that is what I'm doing, being so cool, making this hat and being cool. So now I've been working on this hat, and I feel like once again the light is just not fucking doing it a fucking service. The hat looks good, but the color breaks and the color blending, from color to color, isn't as smooth as even the retro stripe. And the thing is, it's a stripe. It's not even claiming to be a smooth transition from one color to another, right? Like literally the definition of what a stripe is. Um, it's not called, like, this is not the ombre yarn. Like this is the stripe yarn. So it's not as smooth. The the way that it comes together in the top actually helps it, because some of the stripes are shorter, or the rows are shorter. It actually helps the blending quite a bit. But then there are just some big jumps, like right, like there, with the pink and the purple, like here, with the black and the purple right here. It's just a big jump. And it was like that with the retro stripe, but because they were all kind of like pastel light colors and like pastel light bright colors, um, it didn't, it wasn't as like in your face, whereas it's a little bit more in your face with this one. But that's okay. That's not the only thing that makes this hat look cool. So yeah, I now one of the reasons I'm not like out there getting out looking at apartments, first of all, a lot of places you have to make an appointment to set up a viewing or whatever, like to set up a tour. And second, so like you would need to set up a tour before you went out. Otherwise, you would just wait outside and no one would ever come get you because no one's there. Because a lot of these places own multiple properties. And then also, like, I'm just like a little like stomach under the weather today. So let's just do the world a favor and stay indoors. But I was looking at a bunch of different apps that do like apartment rentals and setting up or trying to set up apartment viewings and things like that. But it's just I'm so tired of it. I've spent pretty much the last two solid no, like month and some change um looking for apartments non-stop, and I'm so exhausted with it, and I'm just dealing with like this incredible fatigue around it, and then to go look at a place that takes a lot of time, because like a lot of these places I'm getting to through the bus system, and so the bus takes about twice as long as driving. Um, but then I at least know, like, then I get a feel for the neighborhood and like how easy it is to get to by bus and things like that. So I actually like taking the bus, but it does take quite a bit of time to do that. And so it's just hard to get a lot done in a weekend when I'm having to get like this bus all over the place. Um, and I really wish, I hope that the apartment that I'm hoping for comes to fruition, but we'll see. If not, that's okay. It's just how life works sometimes. But um, just hoping, and like I feel like day by day, like my soul's getting like sucked out of my body, and I'm like, no more hope, and I'm like, but that's okay. Um, I accidentally, for like two stripes, I had accidentally picked up the wrong size hook and was working it with the wrong size hook. So what the hell is this? Oh no, did I do the wrong thing? I think that I put two stitches in the same. Oops. I put two stitches in the same stitch, so I doubled up on that one. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. So my counts aren't quite what they should be, but we're rolling with the punches today because I don't care. I just don't care. Small details like that, like they're the type of details that only you would care about. So just let it go. Yeah. So if you wanted to see the panels, so this purple to black panel right here is one. This purple to red section, I'm trying to do it on the other side. Purple to red section kind of right here is one. And then wait, no, it's like light purplish blue to orange right there. And then this almost entirely like yellow green section is one. So yeah, I'm on the fourth section in the orange. You are heard. But yeah, I had used a 5.5 millimeter for like 2 rows, and I was like, oh shit. I like just like looked down and was like, nope, that's not what I was supposed to do. So I had to frog a little bit and redo it. Luckily, it wasn't too much. And also, these hats come together pretty quickly. When Bag a Day made hers, she was like, yeah, this hat takes a little while. And granted, you are doing a bunch of single crochets. Um, it's still it's still a hat size. So for me, a lot of the things she makes are like really long projects for me. And then this hat I can actually get done at a fairly reasonable pace. So um, I don't find that it actually takes too long to finish up this hat, or at least I didn't when I did it last time. Um, Unless you make like a huge mistake, which that could be me. We'll see. So just making a thing. And then I was gonna look up some patterns later. So my old laptop died, which means all the patterns that I had saved on it and patterns that I've literally been working on for 2 fucking years. Like I had one in like a Word document that I've seriously been working on for so long. And it was a doll pattern and it's gone. And I'm like, so I'm gonna try to see. That's part of the reason why I'm keeping my old dead laptop, is to see if once I have some money, if I can get that data like restored, because I did a lot of work on that. I did a lot of work and it's just gone. Or I could just start from scratch, having learned what I have learned, but I don't like that. So, and I'm not a brat about it at all. I feel like every once in a while, when a pattern comes out, whether it be a paid pattern, a free pattern through a blog or YouTube, anything like that, but when a pattern comes out that like everyone gets like super addicted to, super obsessed with, and like we all make it, I always find it just like, one, like I love that for the designer, right? Because like a lot of designers, they'll work on something and then like one person will buy it or something, like occasionally, and like that sucks to put so much work into something and then like have not people not buy it. But I love seeing like patterns get really popular. And so the short row beanie from Bag a Day being so popular and so many people doing it, it's so cool. Sorry, burping. I don't know why. Being so popular and having so many people be like super interested in it when it first came out, was so cool, because then like it felt like one of those projects that like as a community we were all like, yes, that is so cool and so different from like what a lot of people are doing, and we just really got excited about it. And I just like love to see that in the crochet community. um because we're all like big old crochet nerds. It's how it is. So one thing I know I'm gonna get into, I would not say like micro crochet, but I will say definitely like much smaller crochet for me, like thread weight. But all my really small hooks and my really small hook handle, um, that I got, the one from Etsy, those are in North Carolina and I have no idea where they are. So I think I'm just gonna buy it again, but in being at this kind of time frame in my moving process, it's like, well, I can't guarantee that I'll be here when those get delivered here. So I just have to wait. And that kind of sucks. But it's not the worst thing in the world. But I want to create some small things because I have some ideas of things I want to work on. And those would require that a much smaller weight yarn than I normally pick up. So yeah, I think I'll be probably working with like a 10 mercerized, but I don't think I'll ever go down to like a 20 or something like that. I've worked with embroidery floss like this before to crochet stuff, but it's not my favorite just because it is kind of made to have the plies come apart so that you can pull it apart and do embroidery or like counter cross stitch or something with it. So I find it a little, I mean, it's not impossible to crochet with, it's not terrible, but it's not my favorite thing. I don't love the way that like the Aunt Lydia's like 10 or even Fashion 3. Like, I don't love the way mercerized cotton looks. I feel like, actually, I think I might know what I would do. And I think I'm inspired because when I use the wool yarn, the alpaca yarn, it just like felt it up nice. And then also, like, I felt like I could use it for like future wraps. And then I could felt them up and have them look nice and fuzzy and stuff like that. And I don't want to see specific stitches once I'm done with the piece. I really like what I'm thinking of making. I really need to not see my individual stitches because I feel like it'll look a lot better if I don't. Um, but I've got to find some patterns, and I'm sure people have made them already, and I'm hoping that I don't have to buy any patterns. But we shall see. Um, I mean, losing any electronics definitely always reminds me that I should be backing things up to the cloud or somewhere, but I just don't because I'm lazy and poor. And so losing what I had on my computer definitely sucks, but I do have more on my phone, so like that would be a big loss. And I'm knocking on wood that does not happen because if that happened, I would lose a lot of patterns. So yeah, but I've been wanting to just kind of start making things that are different. I want to start doing some more tapestries because I was really happy with the bird skull tapestry, and for me that was such a nice change of pace. It was so different, but it was so fun. I had so much fun doing it. And even though those might not be the things that like sell on Etsy, just having them, I feel like would would be really cool. There is a problem of like always like you don't want to be selling someone else's artwork, and a lot of the patterns that I found are like alpha patterns for bracelets. So like you want to credit the original artist even if you did it in a different medium or a different way or however, like you picked the stitch and you picked how it was displayed or whatever. So I would really want to make sure that I did that properly, and gave credit where credit was due. Like, I don't want to take ownership of anyone else's shit. On Etsy, I always say, like, this was inspired by, or this was adopted from, or this is this person's pattern. Um, Sometimes Pinterest can be a little bit harder to track down where it actually comes from because finding, like, the actual, thing can be hard. But, wah, 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 wah. if you are crocheting or making any crafts today, or just doing anything today and you want to share, feel free to talk about it. You can also, I'll also drop the link if anyone wants to come talk um, with me. Personally, I find lives pretty boring, so the fact that anyone would watch mine in the first place is always like, what? So confusing to me. Um, I mean, if I like hanging out with someone and I just like hearing their voice, that's different. But on like by and large, I'm like a lot of these are pretty boring. There are a couple people, like, no matter what, like, I'll always be, like, entertained by their lives. Like, they're always, like, Kelly and Dana are, like my favorite, people to watch. But then I like watching Winners Lives and just hanging out with Zach, Crystal. Um, you know, there's so many people who are so talented on here. And I'm always amazed by the kind of creatives we get. There's this part of Restream that keeps on like shining, like, hey, customize, do it like this. And I'm like, it keeps on like glimmering like every like 30 seconds. And it's like keeps grabbing my attention. So I'm constantly like, that's what it's doing. That's part of the reason why the ADHD is strong with this one. I heard my phone go off. Somewhere there it is. Hmm. Just doing a bunch of back loop only single crochets. We're turning from orange to red right now. think it's looking pretty cool so far. Like I said, we're in the 4th panel, and it's turning out pretty cool. Do not go backwards. That's not the plan, but stranger things have happened. I think I'm gonna try to stretch up my my piercing, my septum piercing soon. I'm just, yeah, I've been wanting to stretch it up for a while, but I think I like skipped a size or something, and so that's part of the reason why it wouldn't stretch. And then you definitely don't want to do it when you're sick, because like everything's kind of like tight and like um really difficult, and obviously you don't want to, you want to be as careful as possible when you're doing it, and it's not always the most comfortable place to stretch, because as far as I understand how the septum works is you basically have two pieces of cartilage, and then you have kind of a piece of skin in between, and that doesn't have any nerve endings in it. So when you get pierced, if it's pierced properly, you get pierced in between the cartilage piercing or pieces. So you kind of only have so far to go before you stretch into spaces that it doesn't like to be stretched. Um, so I don't think I would be there at the point that I want to go to, but it's important to make sure like you're like moisturized, and there are specific types of oils, stretching oils, and stretching products that are better for lubricating the area. Um, I think I have some in my car, but I like legitimately have no idea how my parents packed up my apartment. So it's kind of like, you know, it's a little bit frightening. Uh, but yeah, I want to stretch that out, because I also like I want the silver, because everything else I have on my face is silver, or this one is like a rainbow chrome, but like everything's kind of like a light color, and then I have this like big black septum piercing, which I don't mind. I ordered black so that I could have the option to use silver or black, but the silver one that I have that's this size, I lost one of the balls for, and so I just put the black in, and I haven't changed it since. And I really wanted to just have the silver in the whole time. So the one that I'm stretching to has the silver, but it's a different size. It's bigger. So I'm hoping I can just stretch up to that size and not have to worry too much about it. But we'll see. So I have the jumbo stripes that I've been working with. Um, but you can finish one of these hats with the regular stripe. Um, you don't need the jumbo stripes. I will say that um, it's like a pretty, like if like you don't have a ton of excess yarn when you're left over if you don't use the jumbo stripe. So just whatever you're considering, like let's say you were making two hats to match, I would probably suggest getting the jumbo stripe if possible. The cheapest place I found the jumbo stripe, or really any of the Red Heart Super Saver yarn, is at Walmart, especially with Joanne being no more. Um, Even with even with Joann being there, Red Heart Super Saver was kind of always the cheapest at at Walmart, especially the jumbo size, because I think the jumbo is, I don't remember how much it is anymore, but it's significantly cheaper at Walmart. So that's always been my experience. If you have a different one, let me know. You can also find, you know, Michaels does have sales, but usually it's like blank percent off of one full price item. So it's kind of like they price it so that you're going to use a discount code on it. Um, so it's never quite as cheap, and that might also require shipping depending on where you are. Um, you know, Walmart has things like Walmart Plus where, you know, if you get over a certain amount, you don't pay shipping. Uh, Again, depending on where you are. So there's a couple different facets on the pricing of yarn with all of this. But if you want to make more than one hat, I would or one more than one regular size hat, I would suggest getting the jumbo stripes, um, just for cost efficacy. But I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish my laundry. I'm probably gonna look at apartments more, and maybe look for some of those patterns that have been bubbling around in my brain. So, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you later. Bye.